Assalamu alaikum. So now we're going to look at what happens when you attach a pronoun to a noun. So one thing that you want to keep in mind is that there are three types of idafas, associative phrases, right? The first is the one that we covered above, which is a noun followed by a noun, which is something such as Kitabullahi. So this would mean the book of Allah, when a noun is being associated to another noun. The other is when you have a noun with a pronoun attached. This also serves as a mudaf ilayhi, the word being associated and the word that's being associated to. So just like the mudaf above, there's going to be no alif lam, there's going to be no tanween, and it will be in a state of rafa, which we can tell from this here on the end. And the pronoun that's attached, even though it has a dhamma, it's going to be in a state of jar, because it's a mudaf ilayhi. It's the word that's being associated to. So just like Allah here has a kasra and it's in a state of jar, because kitabu is being associated to it, hu here is in a state of jar, and it won't take a kasra because it's fixed. One thing to keep in mind is that this hu is essentially a huwa when it attaches to a noun, and when pronouns attach to a noun they look different, and we're going to go through the entire chart below. At least some of them do. The third scenario of idafa, associative phrases, is when you have a noun of place and time, which in English is known as an adverb and in Arabic is known as a dharf, attached followed by a noun. And Ustad didn't elaborate too much on this. He said we're going to look at it again in another lesson, so we'll leave that for now. So let's look at another example. If I want to add huwa to hadiqa, which means garden, it would become hadiqatahu, and this would be the mudaf, so the associated, and it's being associated to this hu here, which means huwa. So it's our mudaf ilayhi. It would be translated as his garden, or the garden of his. Right? His garden just sounds more proper. Right? We have another example here with hiya. So bait means house. If we want to associate it to hiya, then it becomes baytuha. Hiya, when it's attached to a noun, becomes a ha with an alif, and it would be translated as her house. Let me get rid of that. Her house. Right? Once again, this is our mudaf, and this is our mudaf ilayhi. And even though it has a fatha, it's in a state of jar because it's a mudaf ilayhi. It's being associated to. Okay, here's a list of all the attached pronouns being attached to the word kitab. So huwa becomes kitabuhu, which is his book, if you want to attach it. Huma, it looks the same when attached to a noun. It's just kitabuhuma, which means their book. Kitabuhum, which means their book. Kitabuha, which means her book. That's when hiya is attached to a noun. Kitabuhuma, which means their book or both of their book. And then kitabuhunna, which means their book, referring to three or more people. And then we have kitabuka. So when anta is attached to a noun, it becomes a kaf with a fatha. And that continues. So antuma becomes kuma, antum becomes kum. So kitabuka means your book, kitabukuma means both of your books, kitabukum, all of your books. And then anti, when attached to a noun, becomes a kaf with a kasra, and that follows for antuma, so kuma, and then antunna becomes kunna. So kitabuki, your book, feminine, kitabukuma, both of your books, kitabukunna, all of your books. And then when I want to attach an ana to a noun, it becomes like an e sound. So it becomes kitabi, my book. You attach this ya onto the end, which is known as ya mutakallim, which is known as the ya of first person. You attach that onto the end, and you make the letter that comes before it take a kasra. So it becomes kitabi, right? If I wanted to say my house, it would be bayti, right? Bayti. If I want to attach a nahnu, which means we, to a noun, it becomes a noon with an alif. So kitabuna, right? And keep in mind, all of these are mudaf ilayhi. Right? So this will be our mudaf, and this will be our mudaf ilayhi. And as a mudaf ilayhi, it will be in a state of jar. And yeah, those are attached pronouns. Assalamu alaikum.